This series covers every major release from Activision Blizzard and alternatives you should know about if you don't want to support the company at this time. In this video, we're looking at alternatives to the World of Warcraft. Activision Blizzard is no stranger to negative press, with a history of mistakes, oversight, and a growing consistency of being out of touch with the player base of their many powerhouse and genre-topping games. Most recently, ActiBliz have been engaged in a lawsuit with the California Department of Fair Employment, who are suing on the grounds of unfair treatment of female employees, sexual harassment, rampant frat boy culture, racism, discrimination, and more. Whilst this video is not focusing on the topic, it plays a big part in its inspiration. If you'd like to know more about this news, I have a recap of all the events since the lawsuit was filed with a link on screen and in the description. Speaking of inspiration, I'd like to give a shout out to Matt Scriver, a writer and the social media coordinator for informpixel.com, who created an infographic that sparked the creative fire for this video. That's the intro out of the way, so it's time to dive into the alternatives you should know about for the World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy Online. Final Fantasy Online launched in 2010 as a commercial and critical failure and was shut down at the end of 2012, only to be replaced by Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, an updated, revamped, and entirely new version of the game that not only won over the hearts of its fans but made video game history as arguably the greatest comeback of all time. The game has since seen 3 expansions in the form of Heavensward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers, which is the current expansion for the game, with the grand finale of the current story arc set to release with the expansion Endwalker coming on November 23rd this year, and a bright future ahead with expansions to follow after. The game features an incredible world filled with vibrant zones, monsters, and characters. One of the most epic storylines to be found in an MMORPG if you stick with it and pay attention. A robust class system in the form of jobs that allows you to switch on the fly to give everything a try and truly master the game. Dungeons, raids, PvP, mounts, and the Gold Saucer providing brilliant minigames. And last but by no means least, Final Fantasy has one of the most warm and welcoming online communities to be found. The game is available on PC and OS X via Steam or directly from the Square Enix website, and on PlayStation 3, 4, and 5 consoles. There is a box cost to the game along with the subscription model, but you don't even need to worry about that for now, because when it comes to free trials, Final Fantasy has one of, if not the best approaches. Create your account via their website and play through the entire vanilla game, the Heavensward expansion, and reach up to level 60 with 0 restrictions on playtime, all for free. With over 20 million players worldwide, a tab target combat system, 25 classes to choose from, between 30 and 60,000 concurrent players on Steam, with many more across various platforms, very positive Steam reviews, highly rated Metacritic scores, and an increasingly popular live stream presence on Twitch, Final Fantasy Online is without a doubt worth a try. The Elder Scrolls Online. ESO launched in 2014 in an attempt to provide the many Elder Scrolls fans all over the world an opportunity to explore Tamriel in a way they've been yearning for since the days of Morrowind. Finally, you can enjoy an Elder Scrolls game with friends in multiplayer, set off on grand adventures, complete epic storylines, and of course, like all good MMOs, fight big-ass monsters in dungeons and raids. Since its launch, ESO has set a new gold standard for high-quality content updates when it comes to the MMO genre. ESO has expansions in the form of chapters that bring large updates to the game, such as classes, zones, raids, and story content, with smaller updates in the form of DLC packs that target specific storylines from guilds such as the Dark Brotherhood, dungeons with side quest like storylines to them, and other content with themes that echo the choices and variety found within the single-player Elder Scrolls titles. Whilst at first this sounds a little strange, it is part of their formula to keep the game updated so regularly with fresh and exciting content that you as a player can pick and choose to enjoy as you please. With almost zero downside to skipping DLC you have no interest in. The game has an initial box cost to play. There are the standard editions that provide all the vanilla content and the Morrowind expansion for you to get stuck into, or you can purchase the latest expansion Blackwood as a collection that provides all of the expansion content to date. Then there's also the Tamriel updated system, and this is where the expansions and DLC all tie together. So you can purchase any expansion or specific DLC for a one-off cost from the ESO store via Crowns, which is their in-game premium currency, and you unlock that and it's permanently available to you. Or you can subscribe monthly for ESO Plus. This provides access to all current and future expansions and DLC, allowing you to try everything and anything in the game at your leisure. ESO Plus also includes a monthly amount of crowns to spend in the store, which you can use for cosmetics or on permanently unlocking an expansion or specific DLC of your choosing, meaning that should you cancel your ESO Plus subscription, you can keep on playing your favorite content. Again, it sounds like a weird system and I might not have done a great job at explaining it, but this flexible approach to the game and its varying size of content allows the development team to produce high quality updates at an incredible rate. Probably the fastest of any MMO on the market. This content approach, coupled with the vast and breathtaking world of Tamriel, player housing, interesting story and side quest content, PvP, dungeons, raids, and in-game collectibles has placed ESO as one of the biggest MMORPGs around. ESO is available on PC and OS X via Steam or the ESO website, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. With over 20,000 concurrent players on Steam, many more on various platforms, a hybrid tab target action combat system, 5 classes to choose from, skills that change depending on your weapon choice, very positive Steam reviews, high Metacritic scores, a recent expansion in the form of Blackwood that released on June 1st this year, and no end in sight to the high quality updates to the game, it might be time for you to explore Tamriel in its finest incarnation yet. Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars is one of the big names that pops into your head when talking about OG MMOs, and Guild Wars 2 might at first seem to have failed in continuing that legacy, but any amount of research or of course jumping into the game today will show you that certainly isn't the case. It's one of the best MMOs available that flies under the radar yet manages to keep a core player base and dedicated community. Guild Wars 2 released in 2012 and has seen several updates to the game in the form of seasons and expansions that we'll need to explain to understand the ever-changing living world the game provides. These season updates are referred to as living world content patches that bring in a variety of changes to the game that include your usual balance changes from PvE and PvP, new dungeons, battlegrounds, cosmetics, and collectibles. But the main focus of these updates is to provide new story content, new zones, and changes to existing zones that are all part of the narrative you play through that become permanent changes to the world with each season, hence the name Living World. Season updates last around a year in duration, with several patches that exist within them, meaning you will always have something new to do every few months. Now, whilst it sounds like these provide massive changes to the game that are similar to expansions, Guild Wars 2 does also provide expansions as well, with 2 already under its belt in the form of Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire, with another expansion set to release in February 2012 titled End of Dragons, with plans for future expansions after that, meaning there is a ton of content to explore in the years to come. Also, something to note is with every expansion the game adds another talent tree for each class in the game, which is amazing. I wish every MMO did this, and it's sure to help keep your favorite class feeling fresh. The game is buy to play with no subscription model, and the standard edition comes with the base game and both expansions included. You can also try the entire base game for free and upgrade at any point you like. With 9 classes to choose from, a hybrid tab target active combat system, skills that change depending on the weapon you're using similar to ESO, world content, fast-paced PvP, dungeons and raids, 11 million registered players, high Metacritic scores, and a new expansion on the way, it might be time for you to check out Guild Wars 2. And now it's time for some honorable mentions. We've got Star Wars The Old Republic. It's free to play and offers epic storylines that any Star Wars fan is going to want to play through. The Lord of the Rings Online, which, whilst being a little dated, there is an immensely rewarding old school charm to the game. It provides fantastic story and character references that are true to the books, which of course make it a must try for any Lord of the Rings fan. It's free to play, still getting story expansion updates, and it has its own classic WoW approach with legendary servers. Black Desert Online, a Korean MMO that manages to make the typical grind enjoyable with the most satisfying action combat of any MMO I've played. And it also has some of the most beautiful graphics in the genre. A New World, originally set to launch at the end of August, this has now been delayed following the recent closed beta to September the 28th. I really enjoy my time playing the New World beta, and I look forward to spending many hours in Eternum creating content for it on my channel and fishing. Let me know your recommendations for MMOs to play instead of World of Warcraft, and of course any MMOs that you're excited for. Also check out the playlist for this series that I'll have updated as I release similar videos for alternatives to Diablo, Hearthstone, Warzone, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, Warcraft, and Starcraft. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, as it really helps out the channel. Take care, and hopefully I will see you next time.